Hey, what's happening, you Harry Lucha? Today, we're going to be playing some games with Stonjourner, which in the current meta, I feel like has so many free and auto wins for it that it's definitely a deck I'm going to be looking to take to my next tournament to see how it fares on the tournament landscape. But before we take a look at the list and I break down why I'm playing it the way I'm currently playing it, I want to let you guys know that Full Grip Games currently has a big sale going on right now over at fullgripgames.com. Go check it out over there. The Full Grip Games 4th of July sale that's going to be going on for the next week or so, I believe. I don't know the exact date when the sale ends, but they got a ton of dope Pokemon products on sale right now, so be sure to go check it out over there at fullgripgames.com. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this list and let's get right into it. So, Stonjourner deck, like I mentioned, Stonjourner VMAX is the main and only attacker basically in the deck. Sometimes we attack with the Stonjourner V. There's a 4-2 line of it in here currently, but I have thought about cutting down on a Stonjourner V. Maybe 2, but currently a 4-2 line. The main attacker is the Stonjourner VMAX, 330 HP, and it's got the Stone Gift attack that allows us to attach a fighting energy from our hand to one of our Pokemon, and then we heal 120 damage. And then the main attack that we use to actually draw 6 prize cards, we're not just like a stall deck or anything like that, is the Max Rockfall for 200 damage. And we get this thing really tanky with the full face guard, which reduces damage we take by 20, and then we play 4 stone energy as well. So our early game goal is to try and get as much of that on our Stonjourner VMAX as possible, and we win most games with just one Stonjourner VMAX. We sometimes need a second, but it is pretty rare that we ever need a second Stonjourner VMAX. So we load up the Stonjourner VMAX, the full face guard, as many stone energies as we can possibly find. We start to build it up with energy with the Stone Gift, healing any damage our opponent is dealing to us in the early game. And then once we get to the point where we can comfortably use Max Rockfall and heal our Stonjourner as we attack, we start swinging with the Max Rockfall and we're healing with the Hyper Potion, the Lucky Ice Pops, and the Team Yell Towels, and then we're winning at games. Like I said, against the top 2 decks in the format, Arceus Inteleon and Palkia Inteleon are both super good matchups for the Stonjourner VMAX deck, and that's why I love it right now. Now, most builds generally play Flanneries and Crushing Hammers to give yourself a chance against the Mew VMAX matchup, but even with all those tech cards in there for the Mew VMAX matchup, it's still an unfavorable matchup. So I've started to get rid of all of that and just be more consistent about beating the more popular decks in the format with this list. So extra healing and extra consistency as far as draw supporters go. 4 Avery, 4 Kabu, 4 Schoolgirl, 2 Research, and 4 Pokegear. And then we also got a couple healing cards through supporters as well, with the 2 Cooks in here that heals 70 from our active, so we can like use Pokegears to find healing cards as well, and they're not only just to find draw supporters. And then for the energy stuff, we got 4 of the stone energy, of course, 11 basic fighting, and then 2 training core to recycle our basic fighting to get off that many more stone gifts after we discarded the fighting energy with the hyper potions. That's the 60. Let's go ahead, let's get in some games, and I'll show you guys how much this deck rocks. All right, we did lose the coin flip here, it looks like, but that's fine. Ooh, we got a pretty good start, though. Stonjourner with the stone energy off the rip, and an Avery, or another supporter off the Pokegear if we want to go with that, which that could be better, potentially. Of course, it depends what my opponent is playing. It looks like we are up against the Soul Rock Lunatone deck, and this matchup is, to be honest, I don't know if it's favorable or unfavorable. Whenever I've seen results for this matchup, though, in like online tournaments, it looks like, it always seems like Stonjourner has won, though, so I'm gonna say we're feeling pretty confident off the rip here, and we do have a turn 1 Avery, so that's really good, and a second Stone Energy to follow that up, and a Stonjourner VMAX in the hand already, so this Avery already gonna be doing a lot of work. They have to choose 2 things to discard here. They had no energy turn 1 as well. Guard Press won't do very much because Lunatone is resistance to fighting, but will reduce the incoming damage by 40, and then we will have that Stone Gift coming out next turn, and I do play those 4 Avery. Ooh, already got the Rescue Carrier as a comeback. Sheesh. I mean, we do have to get through them at some point, so yeah, got to get through them at some point. And it's like a slow, super, oh my gosh, the Avery top deck. We're just following up with another Avery here, and it's a super slow draw from my opponent here as well. 2 more down. VMAX, attach. Play the Evolution Incense. Gonna go ahead and grab the VMAX out of the deck just so it's in the hand and not in the deck anymore. And then Stone Gift. We're gonna start swinging next turn. So back-to-back Averys. They had the Rescue Carrier response, and they finally get off that concealed cards. But it definitely feels like it's a little bit too too late. We'll see if they can pull off an attack this turn. But even if they attack this turn, they're only doing, I mean, not that much damage. They're doing what, 80 damage with 3 energy. We got plenty of healing in hands, and we're gonna start swinging, start digging for more Averys as well. There's another Rescue Carrier. Okay, they've recovered again. They're back. But one more Avery, I think, should put them in the dust here. Especially if they have to cycle draw this turn. One more Avery should put them in the dirt. And it looks like it is going to have to be a cycle draw. Here comes the cycle draw. Guardian Quick Ball. We got 2 Avery left, 2 Pokegears to work with. Let's see if we can draw into another Avery. No Avery, but a Kabu can help us dig deeper for it. And then a Cook. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and play a Kabu here. And I could use their Pokestop as well. I don't really want to use it yet. And I didn't attach the energy before I used the Kabu there because I did want to draw into potentially another stone energy to further reduce the damage we're going to be taking from my opponent's Soul Rock. So now that we've established a board like this, I think we're in a pretty commanding spot. And I think, like I said, one more Avery here, I think should basically just give us the win overall. My opponent, of course, will finally be able to pull off their attack here. They're finally going to be able to get off an attack. It took them a little while, but the cycle draw and now a couple more draws with Greninja should set them up in a pretty good spot to continuously attack with Lunatone, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late. I mean, maybe they can get there. I'd be interested to see if they could get there, to be honest. I'd definitely be interested to see if they could get there. They need a lot, but I guess it is possible. All right, they're hitting with 4 energy. I don't have another Lunatone set up yet, though. They need another Lunatone here. They have the Choice Belt as well, so they're just swinging. They're just swinging hard here, but we got the Cook. We got the Lucky Ice Pop. Oh, my gosh. Okay, chill out. Okay, maybe it's going to get closer than I thought. Once again, they don't have another Lunatone. Okay, here finally comes another Lunatone. They might even be able to accelerate an energy to it as well. I don't know if they have any Soul Rock uses left. They might. Okay, another Pokestop use as well. Level Ball, Battle VIP Pass, reset on a Soul Rock. So here's where I probably would have. I don't know what their hand is exactly, but you definitely want to get Greninja to play at some point. They could like Level Ball for the 4 Soul Rock possibly. There's a Scoop Up Net though. Just for another Soul Rock pickup. But they're out of energy in here, so that's not going to do very much. But maybe they're about to research or something like that. They might be, yeah, there's the research, okay. No energy to the discard pile though. Ooh, the Marnie might have been better there for them, to be honest. They're getting really aggressive. Okay, this is actually still a game. Now I'm kind of scared, to be honest. At first I was feeling super confident. But now I'm starting to think this is getting a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be, because this one's hitting hard. This Moonkinesis is kind of coming in pretty hard. 150 damage on that one. We did have like a Hyper, though, so now I'm feeling a little more comfortable. If we can get another Avery, that's what we've been kind of digging for here, is an Avery. There's that Avery, finally. Now, they probably will discard the Greninja here, but also getting rid of one of those Soul Rocks is good for us as well. I don't know if I want to give them Training Court. I don't know how much... Yeah, do they favor the Pokestop here? They only have 1 Scoop Up Net left, which will be the main thing they're looking for off Pokestop, so they might like the Training Court a little bit more themselves right here. So I might go ahead and double Soul Rock leaving. Now, it might just be me, but I feel like that means that they have a... I feel like that means that they have a... What's it called? Left in the deck there. Attach it. Do I want to give them the Training Court? They only have 5, 6, 7 energy in play, so they have quite a bit of energy left, probably, and maybe even the energy retrieval. Where the Pokestop could help them find the carriers. Oh, they only use 1 rescue carrier? I thought they used... No, they used 2. Okay. Yeah, but this does combo super well with their Greninja. I think I'm just going to wait here. I'm actually pretty undecided on what's correct here, to be honest, but I'm just going to go like this and say this is going to be the play. We got our okay, that's sick. We got our last Avery now. So now we have another Avery. We have the 4th Avery to work with. Yeah, another rescue carrier. Okay. Makes sense for them to have played it the way they did. Now I got a little scared for it to begin with, but then we got the Avery, we got the Hyper Potion. Now we have another Avery. And this one, I thought the last one was gonna do it. They did have the 3rd rescue carrier ready to go. Oh my gosh, they're just kind of loading it up there. Moonkinesis. Good thing I didn't give him the Training Court. Okay, it actually didn't even hit us that hard. Okay. Another Avery. Is this going to be the one? Once again, another Soul Rock has to leave. Do they keep the Greninja? 4 Avery in a row here. Favoring the triple Soul Rock. Okay, that's interesting. Gonna go with a Pop here. Definitely interesting choice to favor the triple Soul Rock. I'm very tempted to use this Pokestop here to get some more healing. Also tempted to put down a Stonjourner V to start to load that up. I only have 220. I have quite a bit of HP. They're down a bunch of nets. I don't think I'm getting knocked out here. I'm going to go for the swing. See where this leads. I could get punished here, I guess. But I'm feeling pretty confident that we're going to be okay. One thing I am kind of scared of is I don't play any boss in this Stonjourner list. So one thing that the Lunatone deck can do is kind of just to start to load up a Lunatone on the bench. And I can't really stop them from doing that. Now, I could just set up another Stonjourner. And that would be pretty good. They did just fail the quick ball there. So maybe they're fully reliant on a heavy ball at this point. All right, so I'm going to Schoolgirl for 4. Got some pops to work with. Not the kind of healing we were looking for. Attach. Now that their Greninja's gone, I'm a little bit more... I don't want them to have Pokestop. I'd rather have this in play kind of situation. Undecided though. She's going to go with the Max Rock Fall. Take out another Soul Rock. 2 Soul Rock left. Got all my Stonjourner Vs in my hand now. I have thought about going down to like 3 Stonjourner V. Probably don't want to go less than that. Oh my gosh, they did get the Rescue Carrier. Okay, so this Pokestop was important for them. Another Rescue Carrier. Is that the 4th one? They do play 4 Rescue Carrier. Okay, so they're prepared to play around Avery. Yeah, I thought 4 Avery would be it. I thought we would cook them with that, but apparently not. They had the outs, and they have 1 Lunatone left, but it could be prize. Actually, I don't even know if it's going to be enough for them. They got their Scoop Up Net as well, but they need another attacker here if they even want a chance at getting this knockout on the next turn. Choice Belt. That's not enough, right? Okay, thank goodness. For a second, I got scared, and I was like, do they have enough here? But no, not quite. We're going to be able to pretty much fully heal all of this. Hyper Potion, give it 2 basic energy. Then I can play the Cook to heal another 70. And there's just no way they can overcome this HP in the end. Dude, this was like insanely close. They do play a ridiculous amount of Rescue Carriers. So I think if they didn't play 4 Rescue Carrier, that would feel a lot better. Usually people play like 2, maybe 3. But the 4 Rescue Carrier actually made that one insanely close. Coin flip win in this one. So going first, of course, and hoping for just, yes, Stonjourner plus energy plus the Kabu or the option of Avery, depending on what we're up against. We might want to go with the Avery. If we're up against another Soul Rock Lunatone deck, we might go for that. Zigzagoon start for my opponent, so tells me absolutely nothing at all. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bet that it's Palkia with the Zigzagoon. And it looks like my call is correct. That almost means it's for sure the Palkia with the Zigzagoon. Now, Palkia, super good matchup for us. And that's what this deck is all about, getting these free dubs against so many matchups in the current format. There's so many matchups in the current format. So many of the popular decks in the current format, this build just gets auto wins against. I mean, Stonjourner in general is pretty good against those decks. But when we're able to cut all the stuff that kind of forced us to have an answer to Mew, because Mew is just not as popular as it once was, and we get to play so much more consistency, like quad Avery, more healing. It makes all these matchups like the Arceus Inteleon, the Palkia Inteleon, that much better for us, for sure. Quick ball. So my opponent, I was thinking they were about to pass it. They slowed down quite a bit, but yeah, they're not out yet. They're not quite done yet. Quick ball, probably for a Palkia or the Greninja to draw some cards. One of the two, probably. I guess my guess would probably be... Oh, it's a Suicune! Even better. That is a way better matchup than Palkia. Palkia is so much harder than Suicune. Suicune is so much easier. This matchup is about to be super free. Just watch. Ooh, and an Ultra Ball. Okay. Maybe this is not exactly what I think it is. This might be a more aggressive deck, actually, than what I was thinking. This actually might be Turbo Palkia. I actually think this is Turbo Palkia. Yeah, I think this is probably... this is Turbo Palkia for sure. Okay, so... they might get off a pretty reasonable hit on this first turn, which is a little bit scary, to be honest. I'm not really trying to take a bunch of damage early on that first turn, especially when we get to go first. So I'm not a huge fan of potentially taking 120, but still a really good matchup. So I'm still feeling pretty confident overall. They got the net. They're going to get the hit. They get to draw a card here with the Suicune as well. Maybe have a Crobat in the hand to draw some more cards, a Quick Ball or Ultra Ball for it. But no, just the Fleet Feet coming in. So yeah, they could get a pretty sizable hit here. But we have the Double Yell Towel to combat some of this early aggression from my opponent. The Avery, as of right now, not going to get a lot of value, but they still have some turn to play. That could definitely lead to quite a few cards in the hand, or quite a few Pokemon on the board, which might make me want to use Avery instead. course, I do have to be scared of like a Palkia getting set up on the following turn. Even Choice Belt this turn would be quite a bit of damage. There's a Rondo for 100. Can heal pretty much all of it, like I said. I would have guessed I would have rather Stone Gift healed it all, but I'm not confident I'm guaranteed going to get the Stone Gift, so I just want to get the guarantee here. Would have had the Stone Gift, so it does feel kind of bad to have healed all that when we could have just Stone Gifted most of it. But it's not the biggest of deals. We'll be fine with this. It's not that big of a deal. We'll be all right, for sure. And now we're set up in a good spot. Now we're established our Stonjourner VMAX. Yeah, I could have tried to get a little greedy there, to be honest. I could have played the Kabu and been like, okay, but then if I whiff, then I'm kind of in trouble. I maybe would have to like bench another Stonjourner V or something and start attaching to that, which doesn't put me in a terrible spot by any means, but definitely not the spot I want to be. We're fine for right now. They'll get a little bit bigger of a hit. Here's where we want to try to find those Averys and start to just chip away at our opponent's Pokemon and kind of make it so that our opponent really just doesn't do any damage. That can be like our win condition in this matchup. Also, we can just kind of heal and attack. That's also fine, but like Stone Gift here gets us the heal, so like a Avery off this would be great. There's an Avery, and if we can chain Averys together for a couple turns, that'll put us super far ahead. The full face guard is super secure as well. Now they do play quite a few Pokemon. We'll probably see them discard the Mew and the Crobat here. They do play 4 Mew, you know, a couple Palkia, a couple Crobat, so it'll take a little while for us to get through the 4 Mew and really like consistently limit their damage, but they do have to constantly find these Pokemon to replenish their bench, so that kind of really puts a hurting on our opponent's resources overall. So it'll put us in a pretty good spot. Actually going with the Goon, that's actually interesting. I thought for sure the Mew would be biting the dust there, but no, going with the Goon instead. Yeah, we just keep doing the same old thing. Heal up. Got the Schoolgirl for next turn to draw some more cards. Hopefully find some Stone Energy. Stone Energy is super important for reducing the damage that our opponent actually is able to deal turn to turn, and makes our healing so much more efficient, and just really increases the you know, how long our Stonjourner VMAX is hopefully going to be able to stick around. We usually need one for most games, but yeah, we can draw into some weird scenarios sometimes where we might need to go into a second, and not finding Stone Energy can be a pretty big part of that. Just like not finding Stone Energy to be able to put ourselves in a spot where, you know, we're reducing the damage we're taking to the point where we don't really care what our opponent's doing. Can't always get there. We're hoping to get there though. And one big thing we want to focus on against Palkia actually is KOing whatever has a Choice Belt. Now this deck specifically plays 2 Choice Belt, but like Palkia and Teleons generally have 1 Choice Belt. So once you get through that first Choice Belt, you don't have to worry about it really anymore. But this Turbo Palkia generally plays 2 Choice Belt. So it's gonna be a little bit harder for us to remove those from play to, you know, once again reduce the damage our opponent is dealing turn to turn. That is definitely something we're gonna focus on trying to do, is KOing whatever has that energy from my or whatever has the choice belts from my opponent. Now I don't play boss's orders, so basically whenever something is in the active with a choice belt, looking to KO it. Otherwise, not just whatever it is. If it's on the bench, we can't really do anything about it. But yeah, definitely gonna be trying attack when something is in the active with the choice belt. We're definitely gonna be trying to attack that over doing something like a Stone Gift for the turn if we can, to start to put pressure on those and try and remove them from play as soon as possible, so we're not taking that plus 30 damage per hit from my opponent. They did get the Palkia in play last turn, so they could be attacking with the Palkia VSTAR this turn, which does quite a bit more damage than the Suicune. So we're hoping my opponent has to settle for a Suicune hit this turn, but I'm sure they want to hit with a there's the Palkia. They also got another Crobat. The second Crobat's about to be used. That's pretty much the end of their major draw support, though. After that point, all their draw comes from like Greninja or Trekking Shoes or, you know, Mew sometimes. So pretty much done on a lot of their draw support from there. And I would imagine, yeah, there's the energy to the Palkia. So attacking with Palkia here does just make the most sense. You just hit harder than Suicune does. So why not? Why would you not want to hit harder? They're only doing 160 right now. With our helmet on it, or with the full face guard. It's only they're doing 160 right now, so it would only be 140. So with the choice belt, that's 170. So it's a pretty big difference. So like, it's a pretty big difference from taking 170 damage, or what's it called? But they're actually going with the Blizzard Rondo, which is only going to do 100 damage. Actually, that's definitely a mistake for my opponent. Should have retreated there. Kabu, I was hoping for that. I'm gonna go with the Kabu here and see what we draw. We should draw. We could just Stone Gift again. That's what I'm kind of holding out for. Maybe I'm getting a little bit greedy with that. Yeah, a little bit greedy with that. I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive with my healing. With just like healing something there. Got the Averys that I was looking for though. I am gonna Stone Gift here. This deck usually doesn't play any stadiums. They usually play a Pumpkaboo. So my training card is probably just going to stick and play for the rest of the game. So now we can just like Avery, Stone Gift. Once again, start to whittle away our opponent's Pokemon count. Get to the point where they actually just don't do that much damage. And hopefully, once again, start to find some Stone Energy. We haven't found any Stone Energy yet at all. Still fully missing. Our Stone Energies are in there. I don't know if because some of them could be prized. Of course, we do give training cards to our opponents so they can constantly use Greninja to draw cards, but I'm okay with that trade-off. They don't need a whole ton of energy to win this game, to be able to attack turn to turn in this game anyways. So, and they play a decent amount of energy, so them using Greninja every single turn is probably pretty reasonable even without me giving them the training cord. So I'm not too worried about giving them training cord here. I just want to find my Stone Energy. That's what I want to find. We'll see if they finally move this Suicune. Like I said, I think they probably should have moved this Suicune like last turn. They should have been attacking. There's the choice, but it's going to the Suicune once again. So once again, settling for hitting for just less damage every single turn, which makes my job easier with the healing. Now I got some Avies to back me up, start to whittle away once again at their Pokemon count. I'm not in a too comfortable spot to start attacking yet. But we'll get there soon, I'm sure. Get to the point where I'm pretty comfortable starting to attack soon. Not quite there yet. But in a couple turns, the training courts, like I said, probably going to stick, so we can reuse that. Do another Stone Gift, heal pretty much all the damage that the Suicune deals to us. I mean, a little bit of it will stick around, right? Yeah, 10 of it will stick around. Avery here first. Ton of options. No Stone Energy once again, though. That's unfortunate. They usually don't play like Marnie or anything in their deck, so I'm not really scared of them like shuffling my hand back into the deck. So I think I'm just gonna go with Stone Gift the energy out of hand. I might just Stone Gift again next turn. So I'm just gonna leave the one in the discard pile in case they do play Marnie. That way, even if they Marnie me, I could training court for the energy and then Stone Gift again, no matter what. Like I said, unless they want to put a Pumpkaboo in play, which they could do. They could Pumpkaboo away the training court, I guess, but you'd have to go find it. It could be prized. They'd have to expend a quick ball to find it. Whatever. They can go get it if they really want to, but I'm like kind of okay if they want to go get it. And then once again, we're just going to Avery again. They're going to probably bench 2 more Pokemon this turn. Probably another Mew. Maybe the second Palkia. And then I'm gonna Avery again. And then I'm going to Stone Gift again. And we'll attack eventually. Not feeling too pressured yet. Once again, I like very much want to find my Stone Energy. We'll get there eventually. I guess one thing I do have to be careful of, to be honest, though, I kind of forgot about it for a second here, is Starmie. They might play, my opponent might play Starmie. I didn't think about that too much or too hard, you know, until right now, to be honest. That is definitely something I have to be aware of, is the Starmie. A lot of people play it in this build. It's definitely something that has been, was like definitely in the initial build of this deck and has been cut down a little bit. But I definitely need to be aware of that for sure. Definitely need to be aware of the Starmie. Yeah, another Pokemon down in the Palkia. Like I said, play a lot of Mews, so I'd be surprised if a Mew doesn't hit the board here. So far, got through 4 of our opponent's Pokemon with the Avery, and looking to get through another 2 maybe on this next turn with the next Avery. But now I'm like a little bit, I'm kind of scared of that Starmie. Huh. Still no Stone Energy. I kind of want to like Hyper Potion hit here actually instead. I could go with a Kabu to try and see more cards this turn. Yeah, I kind of don't even want to use this Avery now because it's not even getting rid of as many cards as I'd want it to. There's the Hyper Potion. So Hyper Potion. Kabu. Let's find some Stone Energy finally. Like I'm ready to see some Stone Energy. We've seen a lot of cards and 0 Stone Energy. Let's keep that going actually. That's exactly what I wanted. Max Rock. Once again, I'm not going to take any energy out of the discard pile. I guess I could have. There's 3 in there. I could have taken 1 out of there, to be honest. We're a little bit short on the knockout here on the Suicune. 10 damage away. Yeah, I could have actually maybe training carded 1 of those energy just in case they feel the need to want to replace it this turn. Could have done that. Second Mew. Like I said, they'll probably get to that point eventually, and here it is. Another Mew in play. To be honest, I'm kind of feeling like setting up a second Stonjourner. We'll see what my top deck is, but I don't even want to commit any more energy to this active one. I kind of just want to swing and let it get knocked down and set up another Stonjourner. It does get a little bit awkward for our draw supporters if we do that, though. Stuff like Kabu and Schoolgirl don't draw as many cards. There's another Palkia. Let's see if they even let me KO this Suicune. They might retreat it. I don't know if they want to get off this hit with this Choice Belt for the trade-off of losing it or not. I'm actually curious to see what they do here with that. Or if they're going to retreat it here and then hit with a Palkia instead, which will do more damage. But no, it looks like they're fine with just letting the Suicune go down here. Once again, like I've been saying, interesting choice. Okay, Schoolgirl for 4. Finally, a Stone Energy. It has taken quite a while. Super thankful to finally see one. I'll go ahead and thin this out. They probably don't play any hand disruption, so I'm gonna go ahead and play like they don't. Lucky Ice Pop a couple times here. Going with the second one. Keep going until we can't go anymore. And heal it up to full. And now we're gonna get a Max Rockfall here for... I will use this once here. Max Rockfall for the KO. Another way to reduce our opponent's Pokemon in play is actually just to knock them out as well. Like this. Full Face Guard, that's good for our second Stonjourner, which I might just start setting up next turn, to be honest. I don't know. I've got this Stone Energy on the active one now, so I think I just want to commit to this one a little bit longer. And we do have like quite a bit of healing in hand to work with still as well. Definitely looking for one of our last 2 Averys now to... I mean, we're getting through our opponent's Pokemon a little bit more aggressively. We actually knocked one out. And Avery here would make a huge difference, especially if we plan to attack again this turn. It's going to do that much more for us. The card I'm hoping my opponent does not see here off this Mysterious Tail is that second Choice Belt. Like I said, they usually play 2. It was a whiff. That's another thing about like this deck in general. Your opponent really doesn't take knockouts very often, so they just don't draw a prize card. So whatever's prized usually just stays prized, and then it just like it's not going to leave the prize cards. So it's like another very... like important thing that kind of happens with this deck is like your opponent doesn't draw prize cards, so whatever's prized, it just stays prized. There's nothing they can kind of do about it. Avery would be sick. I'll take the research anyways, just in case. No, I'm not gonna want to use it for a while, but gonna go ahead and burn this. Use the cook. Seems like a good time to cook. Pop. Back to the hand, of course. And then I mean, I could bench this when I attach to it. Can't use a Kabu. We don't have Kabu to use for a while. I think I am just going to start loading up a second Stonjourner. And if my opponent really wants to boss and try and KO that, to be honest, I'm kind of just fine with it. Yeah, if my opponent really wants to boss up my Stonjourner V and KO it, I guess I could have put the Full Face Guard on it, giving it a little bit more survivability. But they've also burned a lot of their... They burned 2 boss and 3 Cross Switcher, so I don't even know if they can boss KO this Stonjourner V off the bench, to be honest. They might just be out of Gust Effects. Because yeah, they're down 2 boss and 3 Cross Switcher. So they definitely play a 4th Cross Switcher, but they have no Cross Switchers to combine it with. And then, because they're playing the Cross Switchers, I would actually be surprised if they played more than 2 boss. So I think we got them pretty much locked up. I did put a 5th Energy in play, though. Once again, gotta be kind of a little scared of the potential of Starmie. But to be honest, even if they Starmie one-hit KO'd one of my Stonejourners, I have the follow-up Stonjourner to KO the Starmie. It doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. So I'm kind of fine with that trade-off if they do like commit to setting the Starmie up. Looks like they're gonna probably run the Palkia to the Palkia and attack with the other Palkia. Once again, they're not even hitting for their max damage though. We've gotten rid of so many of their Pokemon with Averys that they have had a bench space open for like a turn now and haven't even been maximizing their damage each turn. That's why the Avery's so good up against the Palkia decks. Even better against Palkia and Teleon because their Pokemon are a little bit less expendable. Like Mews and stuff in this deck, they don't really care about them. They play 4 of them so they can try and get one, open one, find it aggressively, and then maybe even get 2 on the board in some situations. But past that, the other Mews are kind of just fodder for Ultra Balls and Quick Balls and kind of whatever. So, yes, not as important. In this deck, the Pokemon are definitely more expendable than something up against like a Palkia and Teleon, where they definitely value their Pokemon quite a bit more. They're setting up their Greninja now. I guess it kind of makes sense to go into a 1 prize Pokemon at some point. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. 120 from my opponent will definitely heal that with the Hyper Potion here. Finally got another Stone Energy. Man, these Stone Energy have been eluding us. Thankfully, it hasn't mattered too much. Sometimes it can make a huge deal to not have your Stone Energy, though. Thankfully, this time around, it has not made a huge deal. Get another hit off with this Max Rockfall. Now we're taking reduced 60 damage. I guess also benching this did increase my opponent's damage by plus 20. But I definitely kind of valued the idea of getting that second Stonjourner VMAX in play, for sure. I definitely valued the idea of that, getting that set up. So, should my opponent ever like hit us really hard, you know, hit us with a Marnie, or if we had KO'd that Palkia and then they had gone like Choice Belt Roxanne, it's definitely possible they play something like a Roxanne. Having the second Stonjourner set up and in play definitely gives us a lot of flexibility of making sure that we don't, I don't know, just don't get too far behind or anything like that, or don't potentially get like caught out by something like that. So this definitely gives us a lot of, you know, flexibility and like not potentially falling behind to something like a Marnie or a Roxanne. So just putting it in play, getting it set up definitely feels a lot safer. Yeah, it looks like Greninja is going to be their play. I guess they could do something weird here, to be honest, where they... I don't think I would lose to it, to be honest. They could do something weird here where they, like, do boss this up, and then they still have their Star Portal, so they could, like, Greninja 2 or 3 turns in a row, and then this thing wouldn't be set up to attack with, but I can just, like, Stone Gift. Yeah, I'm not too afraid of it, to be honest. Like, in my head, I was like, it's a thought, but... doesn't seem like a big deal at all, to be honest. A ton of energy, an absurd amount of energy. Gonna go with the Lucky Ice Pop. And probably a Team Yell Towel as well. Just fully heal the active that way, or almost fully heal it. Need one more heads there. And then attach to the bench. And Max Rockfall for the KO. And we're just 2 prize cards away. This is where something like a Roxanne could come in, though. Like I was saying, a Roxanne could happen here. But like I said, Training Court pretty much seems like it's sticking. They could have like Pumpkaboo plus Roxanne. They can't boss, and they would need like Escape Rope, Pumpkaboo, Roxanne, and then they would have to like use Moonlight Shuriken like 3 or 4 turns in a row without me drawing anything. And even then, like, these protect me on the bench too, right? So like the Greninja's only doing is it only doing 30 damage to the bench Stonjourner and only 70 damage to the active Stonjourner. And they would have to have all those cards. Like, they probably don't play Escape Rope because they have like cross switchers. They might play the Pumpkaboo. They might have a Roxanne, but a lot of these other things they probably just don't have. There goes their last cross switcher. Let's see if they even can get anything off this quick ball, that anything worthwhile. Like, the last thing would be, there's the Pumpkaboo. Okay, so they're shutting down the Training Court. Or maybe they're just getting another basic Pokeball so they can hit harder with Palkia, but hitting with Palkia here doesn't really do anything. Got their water energy. Maybe they're hoping to like boss up this Stonjourner, remove my Training Court, and then I'm just out of energy and can't get into this one anymore. But we got 4 energy in hand. We got a Training Court. They're just loading up the Greninja though, it looks like. And it's going to be a little bit of a tickle to the active and then a little bit of damage to the bench Stonjourner as well. We'll probably just cook this turn. Actually, I don't even know if I want to cook. I could cook heal the active, but it doesn't even seem worth it. Yeah, here comes the Moonlight Shuriken. I guess it would play around. I could cook heal the active to play around. It would let me play around Starmie. So I guess I will cook the active here. Yeah, cook. Attach. Max Rockfall. Greninja's gone now. 1 prize card left. Another energy. We do play a lot of energy in here, and sometimes it does feel like a little bit like overkill, but early game, it's super important to get that first attachment and then get those early stone gifts off as well. So, like, we do play a lot of energy. We do play 15 energy, and the 11 basics, like, in these kind of situations, definitely feel a little overkill, but it is super important in the early turns to get those early attachments, to not whiff attachments for turn, and then also get those stone gifts. To get the stone gifts. Oh, there is the Starmie. Okay, there is a Starmie the whole time. I don't think it's going to be enough. And they don't even currently KO my active Stonjourner with the Starmie. They're doing 300 damage. But that is not even enough to get the knockout on my active Stonjourner here. And then we just knock them out right back with the Max Rockfall. Unless they have something like a Cape of Toughness they would need. There's a Choice Belt, so 330. But we got the we got the full face card. We got the 2 Stone Energies. So they've been sitting on this Starmie for a while. But yeah, not enough. We never really played ourselves into a situation where the Starmie could really punish us super hard. And then, of course, when we put the second Stonjourner down, we're always super safe. And that's going to do it for the gameplay with Stonjourner. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a like. And be sure to subscribe. I got plenty of other Stonjourner games over on the secondary YouTube channel, AzulGG Gameplay. So be sure to go check it out over there to catch some more Stonjourner games. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.